Ago, when the Oyo State government established the State Youth Empowerment Scheme called YESO, with about 18,200 young men and women gainfully employed. The scheme was designed to provide a pool from which other personnel resources for the state will be derived. Each of the 18,200 cadets was entitled to an allowance of 10,000 naira monthly, irrespective of qualification. 1 year down the line, the Oyo State government comes back to the Lekan Salami Stadium to take a second look at this intervention program.
It's temporary. It's not permanent. We have gainfully employed 500 cadets permanently. We have placed some to work in the VIO, some in the fire service department, some in our Oyo State Transport and Road Management Agency, some College of Agriculture, some our ambulance service.
Getting to this stage is no easy cheese.
They are spending close to 300 million just to administer this scheme every month, which means it's costing us 3.6 billion every year.
Going forward, there will be need to justify government spending and address grey areas, and it will start with each cadet going back to their local government with all relevant documents for revalidation. Indeed, every intervention comes with its own challenges, and the YESO scheme is not different.
One of the things that I think it makes people to run away from their primary assignments is because there is delay in payment of the YESO salary.
The Vadutis, they are meant to control traffic, but what I see is that sometimes they enter market and carry people goods, and sometimes they spoil it, and sometimes they come at late hours. I've seen some of them that come before, and they came at late hours to be operating and carry people goods and spoiling it. So in this aspect, I don't so much like it.
Others also laud the scheme.
For the government being create this year, so it's okay because it's giving out some people job to do, so it's okay.
It's a good scheme, and we've seen a lot of improvement towards the road, cleanliness of the city, and everything like that.
As the Oyo State government continues with its efforts to reduce youth unemployment, it says there will be greater emphasis on human capacity development as well as adequate reward for hard work.
Etisalat, now your talk.
Now, Flour Mills Nigeria PLC has declared a dividend of 2 naira for its shareholders. The company also declared a turnover of over 301.9 million as against the 258.2 million in 2012. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo covered the annual general meeting where shareholders applauded the company for its growing strength.
Cement business was cut off in 2013, and for a business that was doing a 31 billion and a profit of approximately 5 billion to be out of a business in 1 year and the business is still standing, I think this board needs to be told thank you.
Mr. Nona Awo's comments came in after he had digested Flour Mill's annual financial report, which was circulated before the meeting commenced. He claims he rarely commends some other company boards, where he is also a shareholder. But he fears his commendation may fizzle away soon if some pertinent issues raised by him alongside his colleagues seated here are not tackled head-on.
But for the future, please don't give cash to government people. We can give as much as possible our products. Because some of us have also seen how some persons in government are used to abusing such donations.
Our investment in other companies, I see that the quantum of shares we are having there doesn't bring the good returns to the other company. So I would suggest those who are not doing well, wind them up.
In a swift response, however, after declaring a 2 naira dividend on its stocks as against last year's 160 naira, the company secretary and director promised that no issue raised here would be put under the carpet. This was also corroborated by other top officials after the meeting.
We have to balance our growth, our strategic growth, with financial position. So we are taking this negotiation and we try to ensure that our borrowing limit is reasonable.
We're now also an agricultural company. We do a lot of farming. So we have to pray that we have the right rains at the right time.
We are also expanding into the agro-ally space, and these are very accretive areas, that we hope that we'll be able to generate, more value and be able to do better in the coming year.
With a turnover of over 300 million naira, a 16% rise from the 2012 record, Flour Mills Nigeria PLC is hoping to build on its strength and continually put smiles on the faces of its shareholders. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Here's this midweek. Time for us to talk business. We go to our studios with Adeshawa.
Well, thank you, Sulaiman. The Central Bank of Nigeria has further tightened its cash reserve ratio on public sector funds. The Apex Bank says deposits from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation joint venture accounts and sovereign investment funds be treated as public sector funds. Other collections include deposits from the Nigeria Customs Service, Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Pilgrim Welfare Board, as well as all accounts belonging to government universities. However, the CBN's redefinition of public sector funds excludes deposits from the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, Bank of Industry, Nigerian Export-Import Bank, among others. In July, the CBN introduced a 50% cash reserve requirement on public sector deposits, a measure intended to check the present excess liquidity in the nation's banking sector. The multi-billion-dollar fertilizer plant set up by the Dangote Group is projected to be ready by the last quarter of 2016. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, stated this while speaking on the sidelines of a just concluded National Economic Summit Group meeting in Abuja. The plant, which will cost a total of $9 billion, will be situated in Edo State and is expected to have a production capacity of 2,200 metric tons per day of ammonia and 7,700 metric tons per day of granulated urea. To this regard, a $3.3 billion loan was signed recently between the Dangote Group and 11 local and foreign banks for a medium-term deal. Moving on now, trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed in the green as the bulls regained strength during midweek trade. The all-share index appreciated by 0.41% and closed at 36,259.65 points. When trading ended today, Nestle's stock led the gainers list, adding 8 naira 99 kobo to its share price. However, much earlier, Just Breweries was in the lead on the gainers pack. Loretta Chiogo tells us more. Hello and welcome to Stock Market Report. Tonight, midweek trade at the Nigerian equities market ended with 22% gains led by Jos International Breweries, which finished the day's session at 6 naira 22 kobo,
followed by IHS Africa Prudential Registrars and Ikeja Hotel PLC. Investors gave Custodian and Allied Insurance, Nemeth International Pharmaceuticals, Thomas Waite Nigeria PLC, and 24 other equities the cold shoulder. The NSE All-In Share Index added 0.41% to close in the positive territory, reversing previous losses. It finished at 36,259.66 points from 36,113.13 points recorded on Tuesday. With over 21.87 million units churned out, UBA was the most actively traded stock for the day, including Transnational Corporation of Nigeria and Zenith Bank. At the finish line, total volume came in at 188.45 million units, valued at 2.54 billion naira, and exchanged in over 5,000 deals. And that's the stock market report. I'm Loretta Chiogo.
Well, thank you, Loretta. That's Business News Tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment.